There we are. Good evening, everybody. How are you? I don't know what happened, but I got left with 10 minutes of peace and quiet just before the show. So I decided to sit down and take advantage and get a little bit of sewing started so I could show it to you later on this evening. Anyway, it's already Wednesday. What happened? I don't know, and I do apologise. I did plan to be here yesterday, but a funny thing happened. We didn't work on the weekend, which is very, very rare for us, but what it meant was we ended up a little bit behind. So I wasn't ready, because usually I prep everything for a Tuesday show on a Sunday. Anyway, there you go. Good evening, Sue McGonchi. Hello, Louise, I'm so sorry. Your chalk pen only left today. I did plan to get it out Friday, so I do apologise, but it's gone. Good evening, Jude and Denise. Hello. Lynette, thank you so much for joining us this evening as well. Daisy and her sister Shirley are here this evening, which is lovely. Jenny Miller, sweetie, how are you? Good to see you. Elizabeth, hi. Good to see you too. Hey, that's another story. I'll tell you later. Glennis, hi. Flick, good evening. Flick, your boxes are leaving. I'm hoping tomorrow. I'm waiting on one thing to go in them for you, so I will get them out. Donna, good evening. Oh, thank you very much. They are gorgeous. Oh, my head's in the way of the geisha. I'll just move this way. But I will tell you all about them, as you know I'm going to, in a minute. Janet, good evening. Liz says, hi everyone. Lynn Marshall, hello and welcome to you. Karen DeWilt, how are you, buddy? And Yvonne Collinson, yes, we're a little bit blue this evening, but it's very deceiving. So we're, oh, I've got the evenings. I'm thinking, what happened to the fabric? I've got the evening sun coming in. Hang on a minute. I just got to shut a blind. I opened it up because it was, there we go. That's probably a bit better. Because it was quite stuffy in the room, and it's lovely and quiet here at the moment because there's a little bit of light on that one over there. That's right. And Rob's taken the girls, Jenny and I think Jenny's gone, and the girls out the back for a little bit of a peck and a scratch before the sun goes down. So I had the blind open, so we'll open it up again. It's not far off going below. Jimmy, good evening. Good evening to you. Sue McGonchi says hi to Fiona. I think Fiona's here this evening. Maybe. I forget. Catherine, hi. Elizabeth Schultz is here with Pam Stanton. And good evening, Jimmy. Rosemary Brooks is here. Oh, you're all here. The VIPs are in the building with Chris Otto. Jane's here too. Bernadette, lovely to see you. Not for anyone else's information, just for Bernadette's. Oh my, I'm hoping, what's the best term for it? Because it's a Christmas soiree, a crack of a project. For the Nagambi soiree, just can't share it yet. I will get there. I want it to arrive, and I want it to be, I've had something done with one of my designs, so I can't wait to show you. Fee's just popping in to say hi, because you have night shift tonight, don't you? So you've got to be careful with your times. Sally and Grandy, hello to you. Evening, Auntie Ruth. How are things in Newcastle? Where's Tina? Is Tina here too? I don't know. Monica, buddy chum pal, there is another pattern going in the mail for you tomorrow. You've got another one on the way. Francis is here with Joy, with Petra. Yay. Judy, hi. And Dell's in the building. Well, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm pretty excited that you're all here. Let me just finish this one stitch. Now it all seems too hard because I'm multitasking. Maria, good evening to you. No. Lorraine Lucas, you're here too. This is just awesome. All right, I'm going to finish this later. You can't see what I'm doing, which I'm really happy about, because not because it's dodgy, because I want to show you the rest later on. So I'll just cut this thread, and then we can have a little bit of show and tell, just a little bit. Kerry Lee, welcome. Everyone's having a chat. Laurel, good evening and welcome to Chandler's Cottage. Thank you for joining us. All right, I'm going to put this over here. Right. Pop that in there. That goes with, there's so much stuff here. I don't even know where's the other half of this gone? Maybe it's over here. Oh, look, there it is. I can see it peeking out from underneath something. So much stuff. So I'm a little bit nervous about this evening because when we do shows where it's literally by the seat of our pants and things haven't gone well for the day, or it's busy all morning, and then we do a 2 o'clock show, and then it all seems to come together. But I get more nervous when we've had a full day since about 8 o'clock this morning, putting new things up on the website, Stephen putting them under tonight's banner, which is now live. So much stuff towards the show tonight, as well as other things that we're working on at the moment. I get nervous it's all going to go to plan because it almost feels like it's too organised. So, you know that feeling, you think something's going to go wrong. Something's got to go wrong. So let's just see. I probably jinxed myself, but let's just see. Nancy, hi. Elizabeth, I love that. Sandy John is, let me park my needle. Oh, don't even get Rob started on. Just once, he got a pin in his knee, just once. But, oh my, it's about 30 years ago. Yeah, it would be. And he's still going on about it. So one of the things that makes me nervous about remembering everything to tell you this evening and not forgetting anything and getting in the logical order, I said to Steve before he went home, is it possible to print me out a list of everything that we've put under tonight's show? He said, sure. So I've just decided to park that list and we'll just see how much we get through. Well, Fiona, all good things come to those that wait. At least you know where your parcel is. I think that's great reassurance that you know it's at Carrum Downs and you can pick it up. All right. So, as you can see on the stand, I've been talking for a while about beautiful Oriental fabrics that are going to come in. Now, surprisingly, it looks like more, but I've only put up 2 this evening of our new fabrics. So, there is another complete set to go, but there were just two special ones that I ordered that are in this beautiful, unique imperial blue colorway. So I decided to plan tonight's show around those. But in combination with that, it's also the 1st, of course, of February. And so we can tonight go through the project that's in our 2023 calendars for February, which is the Melba Satchel. So I've actually managed to marry the two together. Now, if you are in what we've casually called the Calendar Club and you have one of our calendars, you will get an email from us tomorrow or the next day, and there'll be a link to this show. So it's a little bit like Back to the Future stuff, but there'll be a link to this show, so you'll be able to come through, scoot through me gabbling on, and go back and have a look at the demo I'm doing tonight, and I'll pop some other little bits and pieces in that email for you. Rob, because we lost the weekend, we didn't lose the weekend, we did lose the weekend. It was a birthday, and then there was other stuff, and it happened. But because of that, Rob actually didn't do the final print run of the calendars. So I promised last night would be the cut-off for getting one of our 2023 calendars, but he hasn't printed them yet. So I've left them up. If you want to pop on and grab one tonight, definitely this is it, because he will, all of the specials will stay up as per usual under the banner till Sunday night. We've got another show Sunday afternoon. But the calendar will come down after probably lunchtime tomorrow, because he'll be printing tomorrow night. As usual, you can always combine orders. You can ask me to leave them up until Sunday show, or I can mail them out for you, whatever you want to do. That's absolutely fine. But tonight we're going to have a look at the Melba Satchel that's featured in February. And we're going to take it and we're going to do it with some blue Summer Palace to match the stand. So that's what we're going to do tonight. So there's a lot on. Now, these gorgeous fabrics, as I mentioned, got sidetracked already. These gorgeous things are Robert Kaufman's. It's been a long time since we've had a beautiful geisha panel. I think there's been a couple of others in the meantime, but I have chosen not to. I haven't liked the colours, or I haven't liked the, hello lovely Kate, or I haven't liked the colours, or I haven't liked the styling of it, or I don't know, but you know, I have to love it. To invest in it, to get it in here from America or Japan, you got to love it. So I did love this one. Now there will be another colorway coming in this. If you're not blue, by the end of Feb, probably in a couple of weeks, you're going to see a different version of this in true imperial colors. But not everyone wants that full-on black and red in their house. This to me is just so classy. If Peter Hartley's watching this evening, Pete, this goes in your place because he loves blue and white. But I love them, and I'm going to show you the colours of them up close with the bolt. This is blue in here. This is not, it looks like pale blue, but when we get up close, you're going to see it's actually bordering on green. So it's that lovely in between pale blue-green colour, and I think that's what makes it special. That's why I put my kimono on tonight, because it's sort of got blue and green in it. I didn't know what to wear, not to clash with the stash, but this is, it's really unusual, but I think that's what makes it really special. So we've got the panels, and I'll talk through different things that you can do with them as I usually do in a minute. And then we've also got this beautiful thing. So this is the floral that goes with it. These are metallic silver. They're not metallic gold, so that's what gives them that lovely coolness to them as well. There's a lot of beautiful silver in here. I will trash the stand and get them down in a minute for you. But again, that gorgeous sort of mossy teal blue colour is in here. So they're just lovely. Now, if you don't know what you want to do with them, I'll show you what I usually suggest that you do with them. And oh, what is that? What's it called? We've popped them up tonight for you. We haven't had our Panel Magic pattern up on the website since we did the new one. So we've popped that back up tonight. And the reason, when Steve said, why is it not up? I had every intention of doing a new quilt and waiting for things to come in. I'm now thinking, that was being the instructions. I might actually do Panel Magic with it, but I will wait and see. I've got a couple of other things to do as well. I'm going to show you these so you can see what I'm talking about, and then you can have a closer look on the website if you like later. This is Panel Magic, okay? So this takes 2 panels, and that's one of the reasons why I've actually staggered those 2 there up on the wall, just so you can get a really good feel for what it would look like. So with Panel Magic, you actually have, I'm sneaking a look at the back. You need 2 panels, okay, to do that with, and then you can choose what else you decide to do. So for me, I would definitely be grabbing 60 centimeters of those beautiful flowers, and then you know what I'm going to say. You grab 3 panels and you chop the 3rd one up as one of the feature fabrics in your quilt, because then you've got everything that matches, and you can really feature some of the elements that are in the panels on their own in a block. So I'd grab 3, and then I would grab 60, or I'd grab a metre of this, because it's a big print and it will all break down, and this uses a small floral as well. So for me, definitely the small floral in Melba. Now if you want help putting a kit together, what I would suggest you do for this, just order your 3 panels and order a metre of this, and I can do the rest for you and add it on for you. But because this is a last minute decision to pop it up, and as I said, we'll be a little bit more kit orientated when we get to the black and red ones, but this would be a great pattern. Now, as you all know very well as well, if you just want to do one, you've got Through the Window, which we did a lot last year, didn't we? We did it with our, I've got my peacock one sitting over there, Peacock Through the Window, but this takes 1 panel. So with this one, I would grab 1 panel, then you would grab ½ metre of this. It says to grab 2 coordinates, 25 centimetres of each, all in this, absolutely, all in this, all in this, all in that. And then it says to take another 7 fat 8s. What I decided to do today, because, okay, I've stashed a panel for myself, okay, I'm going to fess up, because I love it. And this old house we're living in at the moment, you can't see the colour of the walls because I've got my slat walling up. But, Kate, you've been here, haven't you? I don't think Kate's been here. It's like a blue-grey I have to live with. but it's a grey colour, and we might be here just for a little bit longer, so I can't resist making it through the windows to pop on a wall above our bed. I'm sick of what I've got hanging there now. So that's what I'm going to make. So I've got a panel of this, I've got 1/2 metre of this, and then I made up a new applique essential pack called Winter in Tokyo, getting a bit creative. And this pack, oh, I've got one out. This pack's got all those real winter grey, silvery, cream, blues, and a little bit of black. And so I will be able to take this pack and use it for all the little squares on through the window. So where all the little bits and pieces are here that I don't use my floral for, I'll be able to use these. Now down the track, yes, I know, some of them might be a little bit on the plain side, some are not, but there's nothing to stop me doing a little bit of quilting, a little bit of sashiko, maybe a couple of our little cherry blossoms that we make, a little ruched flower, to add a little bit more interest to those blocks. So in this set I have put, this is a beautiful shimmer called Oyster that's got silver through it. There's that gorgeous new pearl essence. The gold one is the best with this. This is a Robert Kaufman Fusions called Fog. This is Quilter's Linen. Now I stashed the last of this. You can't buy it by the metre anymore. It's in these packs. I stashed the last of this last year because I knew that these were coming in, and I was really hoping that it would go. It is a blue, but it's got undertones of green in it, and it's perfect with it. Cloud Fairy Frost, a given. Sea Foam in shimmer with that beautiful silver through it. Then we're down to I Forget. Hang on, I might be wrong. That's Fog. And that's June. I don't know. Stephen listed them on the website. I'm pretty sure maybe that's Fog. Then this is Cloud, and it's just gorgeous. That beautiful blue, silvery, mauvey grey. Again, I've lost it. I can't remember. That's beautiful dark Robert Kaufman. Is it Smoke? No, Batik Smoke or one of those. And then you can't leave out Robert Kaufman Fusions in black with the silver, because around the outside of these panels we've got the black. Now you're not going to see this little bit of black on the edge when you've pasted in, but there is black in through here. So that black, you can just see all of those, just give you that little bit of extra pop. I know a lot of people now just cut these panels up. They use them for English paper piecing, lots of different things. So that little pack, okay, I did it for me, all right? Did it for me. That pack, see, it looks trashed now, but the packed ones are just perfect and perky. So I'm going to sit that back up there. So these are really nice. As I've only got one bolt, I'm going to do the panic buy on you. I have one bolt, which means I've got about 20 panels, and that's it, because I took one. So if you would like the blue, grab it. If not, next couple of weeks we will get to the black and red ones. I'm looking down here on the floor because, remember how I told you some went to New Zealand by mistake? So the gang that arrived here straight into Australia is down there. We're just waiting, I think tomorrow, the New Zealand, well, it's not the New Zealand shipment. New Zealand kept mine. I still don't know which shop it is. I feel like having a ring around, but I don't have time. But the reorder of those arrives tomorrow, I hope. So night Felicity, don't work too hard. Oh, Fiona, don't work too hard. She won't work too hard. Okay, so they're just yummy. Now, what else do I have to tell you about them? Oh, yes, right. See, that list Stephen gave me is way too big. I wanted to go through handles with you quickly. I don't think my stock is wrong. I think we're nearly out of a couple of colours, and they just happen to go with this. So I just wanted to show these to you in case you were thinking about maybe using this or the geisha panels for a bag. And as I said, some people just love doing this. I'll show you why. So if you look at bags like this, which is our sashiko tote that we've got the Waratah on at the moment, if I hold that up next to that for you, you can see that you could beautifully take the top section and have it as a panel. on a beautiful bag, and then the rest of it, well, you could use that to make your purses that go inside, your wallets, whatever else you want to use it for. When you think about what yardage you are asked to buy for doing feature bags and things now, if you can get the whole bag at 60 centimetres and get a really special bag out of it, it's not too bad. What I would do with this, I would have that as the feature panel in the middle. I'd put a little paper of black or blue around the outside, and then you would come back in and perhaps use something like this to go around the outside, just as an idea. So if you've got one of these in your pattern stash, that's worth having a think about as well. Just, you know, could be something that you want to do because you love the look of it, but you don't want to hang it in your house. With handles, these are our light brown. I think there's about 3 or 4 pairs of these left. If I hold these up for you, you will see that in this actual panel, there's this beautiful caramel colour in the... You can't see that, can you? Excuse me. I'll get the bolt. Okay, trash the stand time. See, I bought the Black Magic in just to remind you, myself, to tell you that there's black in these panels. Right. I'll pop this down here. And I'll probably leave it, I've got the bottom half here, and that's probably the bit that's going to be fine to show you. But you see this beautiful caramel colour? These work beautifully with it. And if I flip it over so you can see the top, again, these little berries, they would be Nandin berries like we've got coming up on the Japanese Baltimore this year. They pick up that colour beautifully. Alright, so there's about 3 or 4 of those. Obviously, black is fine. And while I've got this here, I'm going to just harp on this with you, but just going to bring back, see what I mean about that black silver fusions? You've got this beautiful little band across here of black and silver design, so that just sits with that really nicely. Back up there. Alright, so black with those, and then this paler colour, this is the light tan, these also work really well also. Now while I've got you looking on the overhead, I'm just going to do a switch. What do they say in America? A swap in. Trash the stand. And I'm really glad you can't see me doing it because it's very unglamorous. Okay. We'll pull down this one. There you go. So now you can get really up close and have a look at this gorgeous thing. So see all that beautiful, I mean, we've got all our gorgeous navy blues, indigo blues, and then this beautiful teal blue in here as well. And so if I now hold, it's so interesting, I wouldn't put, you could put navy handles with it, but I was just completely drawn to these because of the center of these flowers. And then if I bring you down to another bit of the design, I'll show you that there. I just love this with this cream and tan that's in here. So by all means, navy is good. And there's a naked stand. Navy's fine, but if you want something just that little bit different, I think these would look really nice. If I hold the black up for you now, even though this doesn't go right down to black, oh look, it's so close, it's silly, but it's still fine with the black. If you would like to see the navy, just email me, I'll take a photo for you and I'll send it through up against the fabric. That's neither here nor there, that's fine. Let's do these. I'll hold up this for you. This is, speaking of navy, this is Liberty Blue. So this is one of our Northcote Colourworks. And hello Karen, sorry, I miss people arriving. Linda, hi. Shirley, Glenda, good evening. How are things up your way this evening? Hi Sue. Heather, mate, how are you? It's been so long. It's been ages. How are you? Are you all good? Andrew's good? Oh, sorry, not Andrew. What am I saying? Andrew belongs to Karen. Sean. I know who Sean is. How's Sean? How's business? Need a plumber. I'll talk to you. Glenda, hi. And Shelley, good evening. Welcome. This is Liberty Blue in Colourwork Solid, and it's rather gorgeous. And I changed my mind about my 100 block quilt that I'm working on. I was going to originally do it on Liberty Blue. I'm now doing it on a dark smoke grey. Can't wait to show you. Can't show you yet. So I may or may not have ordered a lot of Liberty Blue. I have 3 bolts of it, and I don't need 3 bolts. And I can't even use the Liberty Blue as one of the colours going into the 100 block quilt with 100 colours of Colourworks, because it's too close in colour to the dark grey I'm going to use. So I've popped it on special, but it just happens to go beautifully. It goes beautifully with our panels. So if I, and our fabric, so if I pop that down, you can even run that with that. So, or you might just like to have some blue in your stash. So that one goes. Put that back up there. Now what else did I rip off? Yes, well, give me a tick. I don't know. I've done something tonight. I've released a fabric from my studio, and I think I'm alright about it. This is Persia, and this is 1895. I've only got a couple of meters of this. I can probably get some more in, but this is stunning with this. So it's that beautiful dark tealy blue grey, and it pulls up all of these colours here in the panel. So if you don't want to go black or blue for sashing, I can do this. I'll get some more in. If you order your panels and you want a little slither of this to see what it looks like, just pop it in the notes, in the comments bit down the bottom of your order, and I'll pop a little bit in for you, and I will do my best to get some more really quick. Right, so a long time ago, I stashed some fabric, and 2 or 3 projects have come and gone that I intended to use it for. It is out of print, it's rare, it's a McKenna Ryan, which you can just see the edge of in your screen. It's a McKenna Ryan, and I've decided to let it out of the box. 1 bolt. I'm keeping the other 2. I know what I'm doing with the other 2 now, but I'm letting this one, I'm letting 1 bolt go. And I had to, I absolutely had to, because this is it. So this is one of the ones that McKenna designed and still designs to do all her beautiful raw edge applique over. But, and you're going to look at the price on this and go, how dare she charge that much for that fabric when she's had it stashed? I either give it to you at that fabric, or I know I can sell it for double that in an out of stock rare fabric site. But I've decided, no, I'm going to let my girls have it first. I'm going to hold this up for you against this panel, and you can see it's absolutely perfect. It goes from this same blue, sorry? Are the chickens inside?
Yes.
Do I want one? What are the chickens doing? I'm trying to do a show.
The door was open.
Oh, look, come here. Because everyone, who's this? Who have you given me? Who is this? Geraldine. 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 Oh, look, it's bedtime. She's got her eyes shut. She's ready to go to sleep. Want to say hello to everyone? No? You want to go to bed? Who left the back door open?
You did.
Oh, did I?
Yep.
You got her?
Yep.
Right. Just say goodnight to my girls. Can you see? This is an absolute match with this blue-green on here. And then as it goes up, so McKenna's designed this to do a landscape. So it's got the dark down the bottom, through pale, and then up into the blue. And then the blue matches up. I could not do it. So I've popped 1 bolt up, and I've released that tonight. There were intentions to sell it to the die-hard McKenna Ryan girls in the States, but no. And then the other one, see these colours? They're perfect with Melba. So I have a little thing that I'm going to do with the rest of it. If I hold that up here as well, you'll see it perfectly matches with that blue-green on there as well. Stunning. So that's like, you know, it's like letting loose one of my flock, not the feathered ones out there, into the wild. So that's up as well. That'll just go beautifully with this or with this, whatever you decide to do with it. What I'm doing, one of the little octagon EPP things I'm doing tonight, would be lovely just to use with that McKenna to do octagons over the top and have that beautiful ombre landscape effect show through from underneath. We'll come back to that. So with your leftovers from whatever you've got left from your applique essentials pack or anything else. So yeah, so we've got that. And also I've got up Melba in the grey, and as I said, this goes really nicely with it. So this is the grey floral. As I promised this year, I would not let myself just keep within my fabric collections. I'd start using the smaller prints like Flowering Gum and these as general coordinates. And this works, this is lovely with it as well. So it's just going to give us, enhance all of the silver metallic that's in there and add that little bit of, little element of grey through as well. See this over here? It's like someone's painted these little trees on the side. We waited a long time for that to arrive, didn't we? And I wasn't disappointed at all. If you're working with these, I can't wait to get sewing because I've been sewing tonight, so I can't wait to get to these. Really, Jim? Oh, I know. My girls are so tame now, so tame. We were at someone else's farm on the weekend, and I've gone into the chicken coop to say, hi, girls, and my girls just go, hi, what's happening? You know, and they come up and say hi and everything. These chooks just looked at me and went, what do you want? Now I've realised I've completely humanised my poultry, and I'm suffering the consequences of having 3 very high maintenance girls, but I love them to death. In terms of colours that go with these fabrics, I've pulled out some of the King Tuts tonight because I know that some of you love to add a thread as you go, so you know you've got the right colour, but you know, threads are an investment and you like to add them in. So I've pulled out some really subtle colours tonight that all go with these, and they also go with these fabrics, but they also go with that pack I was showing you. So I'll just pull that down as reference for you. So I've tagged these, so you've got King Tut 999. So if you can't find them under a tag, you can just put in 999 into the search window and it will bring up that colour. So this is a beautiful blender pale grey, and that's what I'm using tonight. There's also this gorgeous thing. This is 958. It's just a beautiful soft minty blue green. Love that. That's 995. So I don't know if you can see the difference in them. This one's more grey. This has got a little bit of brown in it. But again, perfect for using with pale taupes also. Can't go past a 997, which is just a beautiful warm cream with a slight variegation to it, so it will blend in. And then you've got your true solid in cream, which is 971. So you'll find all of those under King Tut or under those numbers on the website, and they are all really good all-rounder colours that we've got in. And then I'm playing with the Finas as well, so just in case I forget to mention it later, EF 01 and 50, they're all that I would add to my stash because again, they're just your beautiful off-white and a lovely grey taupe that's going to work with everything. So they're just what I brought in with me. Should we do this now? We'll do this quickly now and then we're going to start sewing. This, I was asked to get in some duckbill scissors and they finally came in. So I've got in some Class A duckbills. Now if you don't know much about duckbills, these are fantastic for when you're doing applique and when you get to that point when we do reverse applique and things and you want to cut away the fabric at the back and eliminate the risk of cutting into your fabric on the top. Speaking of reverse applique, if you are joining me at the Shepparton Sewing Centre in June, that's it. I'm very excited because my cork fabric for the kits has left America today. So I can get that sample made. It's left a little bit later than I had hoped, but I'll be able to get the sample done and get the photos done and send it up to Shep Sewing Centre. So if you're coming or you're in the area, you'll be able to go and have a look. That, as you can see, is a duckbill. So the whole idea of these, if you can imagine, if you're cutting through layers and you don't want to pierce the fabrics under here, then having this curve here up to this point is going to eliminate that, and you can slide it in. So if you, I know a lot of you wanted these, so they're here, okay? But we will be coming back and doing demos with these this year for sure. Absolutely going to happen. So there you go. So they're in now, as well as those, because you know, once you're in the scissor section, get a bit sidetracked. I also grabbed these. So I know a lot of people, we love our little dainty scissors, but some of us have big fingers, or we want a little bit more movement, or if you've got trouble with your joints and things, you want larger handles than what you have, like you have with your big scissors, rather than the teeny little ones that we have on our little applique and snip scissors. So I got some of these in, so you can see they've got a beautiful big generous sized holes to put your fingies through. And just to give you a comparison, these are the little ones that we had in our trinket boxes last year. So as you can see, big difference in the size of the holes to put your fingers through. So I just thought, yeah, great, I need these, so someone else might like some as well. So those and all of those in the house that's a lefty like me, say aye. And I just grabbed in, as requested, some left-handed scissors for you as well. So these are beautiful scissors, got lovely comfortable sort of soft shiny plastic handles on them. I've had my hands in mine today, and my goodness, does that feel good. Because if you're a left-handed person and you've always used right-handed scissors, we've all got a dent. We've all got a dent in here. If you haven't used left-handed scissors and you are left-handed, it might take you a little while to get used to the blade being on the other side, which for us is actually the right side for it to be on. We're used to it being on the other side, and it just takes a little bit of time to get used to. Give it half an hour, sit and cut some stuff out that's not that, doesn't have to be that accurate, and all of a sudden you're just going to find your hand just melts into the scissors, and it's lovely. So I was very happy, very, very happy to get those. Anyway, if there's anything else you need in the way of scissors, please let me know. I'm not putting that back together now. Let me put that down there. Please let me know if you're in the hunt for anything, and we'll have a look for you. Yes, Melissa, it would have. It would have. You're still bragging about your Bonita set, aren't you? I can tell. She's got it. Suzanne, all I can say, I've just read what you said. Cut the wing. Cut the left wing. Did I tell you about the chicken? No, I didn't. We had a guy knock at our front door a couple of weeks ago and said, "Is this yours?" And he's got a chicken under his arm. And I flipped out because I know where he lives, in the court across the other side. And I went, "Robert, do a chicken count." And it wasn't ours. And she was, we don't know who she was. Anyway, she hung with us for quite a while. And she had flown a fence. She was a flyer. And when I caught up with her owner, she clipped, do you know this? You only clip one wing. She clipped both wings. So all she'd done is taken her from a 727 to an A380, and she could still balance and fly. You went, cut one wing. Just cut the feathers on the tips of one. No, Denise, they're not. But you know, they're not really either. They can go either way. They're right or left. So there's no, what am I trying to say? There is actually no shaping on this part like a pair of embroidery scissors, so it's not going to matter. It'd be the same if you were left or right from the handle point of view. From the I don't think it would worry me either way. It really wouldn't, because the blades are so thin on these that you're really not going to notice much difference at all. So I think they'd be fine. Either way, for the lefties, they'll all be good. Good evening, Cindy. Born on a... Were you? Oh, born on a chook farm. Born on a chook farm. No, just grew up with chickens and silky bantams and all of that stuff. All right, so we covered all that through the window. Panel magic. Something like that. Oh, Sunday show. Sorry. Sunday show. Sorry, missed the camera. We are starting Sunburnt Country. So thank you to everyone that stocked up on their Under the Australian Sun while it was on special. Everyone's stuff. That's not the term, is it? Everyone's precious orders are in the mail. There are 3 orders that may not show as checked in yet because they got dropped late today, but everyone has left the building. So it's on its way. So we are going to start on Sunday, 2 p.m. if you're around. If not, you can watch it later and I'll whack it up on YouTube. So if you are doing Sunburnt Country with me, we're not going to do the whole thing on Sunday. I'm going to get you started because there's a lot to do. So we're kind of going to do it in real time. So we're going to start our cutting on Sunday, and I've got a little table runner project for you along the same terms, along the same path that we'll do as well on Sunday. Now, with our February project, aren't you pleased I found it? I have learnt to put everything from the calendar in one basket now. Everything from the Advents in one basket, everything for this year's Advents in one basket. There you go. So, this is what we're doing. Now, I'm going to walk you through, because we've done the cutting, I'm going to walk you through the different steps of this, but we're going to also walk through them with a Summer Palace border print instead of this one. So we walked through this the other day about how to cut all the pieces down for it. All right, so please have a look back through because we have done this, and it's really what am I trying to say? You'll read the pattern and you'll go, does it make sense? The second you actually read the pattern while you've got the fabric down on your bench, you will be fine. I'll get one out. I've got the grey here. Someone's asked me to do, a couple of people have asked me to do grey as a kit for them instead of the black, and that's fine. And what we've done is we've popped up on the website this as a complete kit. So if you don't want to get the calendar to get the pattern, and you don't have the pattern yet, and you're not in a Quilter's Life and have it, you can buy the complete kit for $42.50 with the pattern in it. Without the pattern, it's $30. So just have a think about what you'd like to do. You might like to have a look at the calendar and some of the other projects, like we did the pincushion in January. And we are still sending out a lot of little kits for this for people that have got the calendar. The calendar is $39.50. So if you sort of take off $12.50, you're down to $25 already for the calendar. Left to pay if you take off the price of the pattern, and we've got 12 projects in there and recipes, so you might want to grab the calendar and then you can just grab the kit for $30 to make this up. When we get to the next lot of calendar stuff for next year, I think then a lot of people that didn't get the kits will see the value in doing it as well, but it was sort of hard to explain because it was our first one through. Anyway, so that's what we're doing. I'm just going to pull this fabric out and just run, I've got all the Summer Palace stuff here, but just run through this for you up that way, move the water and pull this out. So in the instructions, nice one Robbie, can't stop right now. Just because it's You want me to show that now? That is like, do you want me to show that? I can do it, but we're not doing blue tonight. We're doing blue tonight, but we're doing blue tonight, but we're not releasing our dragon embroidery yet. Okay, 2 seconds. This is up there with me blabbing about what we're doing for the Advent. All right, ready? This is what Rob's up to up the other end for us. I'm going to count to 5. You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you've had your show and tell, off you go. later in the month. I have lots planned later in the month. Now, when you get to this pattern, that never happened. If I could cut that out, I would. In this pattern, it tells you how to go through and cut all of your pieces down. The main thing that I want you to do is just watch this. Actually, for those in the calendar club, I will come through and do this for you as well. Alright, in your instructions, from your feature fabric, you need to cut pieces that are 9.5 wide by 8.5 high. If I grab my ruler out and I hold that there, that's your 8.5. So that's what you're going to cut for this part here. Alright, so it is really, really easy to go bang on 8.5 in here. Then the next section up, the other part that you're going to cut is for the back here and for the flap. For the flap, you are 5 1/4. So if I just scoot this, or can you see that bit too up here? If I come up here, 5 1/4, easy. You can center it over this section for the flap, and then for the full back, you're 12.5 high. And what I have used is both these sections here for this bit here. And there you go, 12.5. So 8.5, 5 1/4, 12.5. Literally, I've designed the bag around the fabric. So it's really easy to fussy cut this one down. I don't think you're going to have any trouble at all doing it. You're going to find it really easy to do. So that's why we can actually get everything that we need for the satchel out of a 30 centimetre piece. And when we cut these kits for you, that's the royal we. It's actually me. I don't trust anyone else with fussy cutting these. I make sure that one of those Waratahs is smack in the middle of your 30 centimetres so that you can easily cut your 12.5 inch wide piece that you need. Alright, so that comes out of that. Those that were after this, got it under control. Don't worry about it. Alright. Actually, was it this? Oh, I've got 2 people that want this one in the grey, and then I've got people that want the trio in the grey, so the purse trio. And that was the other one we talked about with cutting down the other day as well. Maybe I've got my AQL stuff and my show stuff mixed up. Sorry, we did these the other day as well. So I've got, I think I've got 3 people that were after this set in the grey. If you would like a set in the grey, like we did the other day, that's right, just let me know and I'll do them for you. That's easy to do. And the Mexican stripe set, oops, that we did are now up on the website as well. So if you want the really bright set, obviously they're not on the set this evening. So they're actually up as kits now as well. We've taken down the fabric. We were able to just do 6 kits with what was left, but I just could not, I couldn't resist doing these because of the new zebra stripe zipper that we've got. So, yeah. And what else is hiding in the corner? Oh, we were out of the poppy packs. We did our little poppy applique not long ago, and it's a free download on the website. I've got Steve to make up some more of these today because I haven't shared that with anyone in a newsletter yet. It's only for my Facebook friends that know. So I've done that, but also leading up to Anzac Day, I'm going to do a larger version of that poppy, and we'll do it on a bag panel. So I've popped up more of those for that. What else were we at? Oh, we were out of Friends of Periwinkle Applique Essential Pack. So these are the ones that go with the new Periwinkle fans. They are back in stock as well if you were waiting for one of those. There was a lot going on here today. A lot. Okay, so what I have done, so you've got this, super easy to cut down from the marble stripe. But what I have done, I've set up some other kits. Where'd it go? Some other kits today because I wanted to see how well the bag would work in Summer Palace. So, now, we did a lot today, but I can't remember if Steve popped this up without the pattern. I know I put it up with, but he may not have put it up without, so I will check that after the show. Sit tight if you've already got your calendar or you've got the pattern in A Quilter's Life, and I will make sure that it's available with and without the pattern for you. So this is the kit that I've popped up. So I'm now taking Summer Palace border stripe, and I'm going to use this instead of the Melba stripe for the satchel, and that's what I've been working on. Now, one of the bonuses of the Summer Palace pack, and you will see that I've popped my Summer Palace on, just these ones I've got on tonight on the stand, on a little bit of a special for you, and that was also because of the fact that to get the pieces that I wanted to run in this satchel, I actually needed to give you double of the feature fabric. So instead of 30 centimetres in the Melba kits, you've got 60 in the Summer Palace. So you get an extra 30 centimetres in your kit. So this is the piece that I've been working off, and I've fussy cut down the tea house and the vase and the other bits I'll show you in a minute. And then the lining I have in the blossom, and then the coordinate for this bag I'm running in the Melba Silver Fans. When this colour was designed to go with Melba, but as you can see I designed it to go with the Summer Palace colourway as well. So these are the ones that I've popped in. I've gone with the grey zip, and we talked a bit about this last week. I just decided that this grey was better than running the full-on silver metallic with this fabric, because the colours are just that little bit more muted, well, a lot more muted, and just running it with a zip pull as well. Okay, so that's, I've actually got that zip pull in there, and that's not what I'm running. I'm actually giving you a snowflake one, a silver snowflake with this, because, oh, here it is over here. I've got it sitting on the sample ready to go. So we're running with a snowflake because I thought that this was quite wintry, so I thought a snowflake pull would be lovely. So I'm going to pop this to the side, and I'll show you what I have done. Alright, so for the main, wait, I can do it, give me hands over here. For the front, and I probably need to have my bag, don't I, already, that we've already done here. So as I mentioned, we've fussy cut down the Melba to the right size for this, and our front panels, or our front pocket I should say, are 8.5 inches high. So with your fabric from Summer Palace, and I'll just show you, it's the same there, I was able to cut a really nice section from the fabric to give me my tea house in the middle. So I've centered the tea house like we did with the Waratah, and I've managed to get in, it worked really well. I've just got a little bit of the green showing down here below the silver lattice work, and the same up the top here. So it was just about, I've got about 1/2 inch above the silver at top and bottom to give me the tea house in the middle and have it really nicely positioned. So that's what I've done for that bit. For the back of the bag, and instead of having the tea house, if you wanted to, you could have the vase on the front. It's going to be up to you which way around you want to go. I chose to put the vase on the back, and these actual panels from the back, these are 12.5 high. So if you have a look here, from down here up to here, I was able to get in the whole large section with the lattice at the bottom, and then I took in the peony border as well. And I had just over 1/2 inch at the top, so that's going to work really lovely as well when I piece it in, so I could get that whole section in together like that. And if you go back and have a look at the fabric, just to sort of refresh your memory, if you haven't seen it for a while, there is so much more you could play with if you wanted to. So you could run, as I said, this on the front, but you might decide to go a little bit more casual and perhaps have a collection of vases on your back if you wanted to. That would be lovely. And you've got all this bit here. You might decide to sort of offset it a bit. There's heaps that you can play with, so it's going to be purely your choice. You know, Chinese, go in the middle like I did. Japanese tend to go off a little. They might do that bit so you get a peek of the tea house and get the pergola in with a little bit of the bamboo. So you've got lots there that you can have a play with. I'll pop that to the side. Of course, you're going to have a lot left over with this, and I got an idea for that, so don't worry about that. Now, the other bits that I have got ready to show you, I've got the flap. So with this, you've got the flap on the back, which we used the small border with, as we talked about. That's 5 1/4 high on there. What I've got, just pull it apart to show you, I've got my lotus flower border with a little bit going into the next bit for mine. And I really love this because I'm going to have this little band of silver across here and that bit down the bottom. This little band here, that's actually, you can see there's still a little bit of a crease. That's the center of the width of the bolt. So that's where the fabric mirror image is in the middle. So I've taken the lotus flower border on one side and a peeper from the one on the other side for my top. Alright, so I've got those together ready. I think, I love having the straight bands on there, but what you could do, if it did worry you just a little bit, you could actually use those as the perfect spot to run a quilting line right across in between, either in the green or in a blue or in a metallic silver. You could bead across it, something like that would be really lovely as well, if you're not happy just to leave it. But again, you've got lots of fabric to play with, so you could choose any other bit that you've got left over to go there. So I think that's about all the bits. Oh, well, of course, we've got inside as well. So on the inside, we've got an internal pocket. So I took the opportunity, as I mentioned before, to take on my little collection of vases here. I can't tell you how hard, have I told you about this before, how hard this vase was. And God, the guys at my agents were, the agents and the art centre were amazing that we managed to get all these colours in and we still had enough to ombre that vase from dark to light. Same here, it's just shaded underneath. I still look at this fabric sometimes and can't believe it's mine, because it turned out really nice. It turned out better than I'd ever hoped for, to be honest. We made so many changes, you know, like I show you strike offs when we do fabrics. We made not minor changes, surmountable changes to 4 or 5 fabrics at the last hurrah, and we had exhausted our opportunities to keep working on them to get more strike offs out of the factory. We had a slot for production, and if we didn't take it, we weren't going to see the fabric for at least another 6 months. So we took a quantum leap and we made all of these major changes, and I just remember feeling so ill, and I didn't see them until the pallets arrived in the warehouse, and I just cried because every one I opened, and poor Tim was there and he's going, she's not happy, she's not happy. It was just tears of relief and joy, very melodramatic. But when you put all your hard work and your cash and your time and everything into something and then have it arrive, the fact that they were all okay, it was not me. It was the team behind me, but it's a bit, still think about it. Anyway, so with this one, there we go. So that's going to go in there as our internal pocket. And you can see the fans are on the back of that one. What I want to do with this, and I'll do it while I'm just here with you now, is add in a little division, because for me, I'm going to be popping my phone or maybe a little notebook in here. So I'm just about in the centre. I'm just going to pop in a line now. This is a Frixion pen, so it will line off. I'll just pop a line in down through there, and I'm going to pop just a division in there just while I'm sewing a few other things, so that later on I've got 2 separate pockets in my lining. I'll just pop a pin in there to hold it in place. So that's ready. So I've got all these different little elements ready to go, so it should be relatively nice and quick. One thing that'll be really good just to run through with you again tonight, because I forget how it all works in between making these bags, is how this works with the zipper. So we're going to do this part because it is quite different adding a zipper in in the middle, because when it's all completed, we've got our pocket here. We're going to have this piece up here. But then what happens, that's all fine, but I still need another piece of fabric here. So I'm popping my lining on first to this front panel. That's that bit there, but I still need this bit. And so that's what kind of can throw you a bit when you're putting it all together. So we'll just quickly run through that as well. I've got a few bits of this done, so it means that hopefully I won't send you to sleep while I'm doing it, and hopefully I won't make too many mistakes, hey, while we're going. Alright, so I've got that ready to go. I'm not going to pin the... Oh, did you need to see how the zip goes on? Just in case you haven't seen this bit. Okay, so pop you over here with me. There are gadgets, thingy-me-jigs, thingy-me-bobs, lots of different things that you can get to help you get your zips on. I find sticking my tongue in my mouth, crossing my legs and hoping for the best 99% of the time does the trick. So you want the rounded end on your pull. Slot in one side. Just open it up a little bit. Then slot in the other side like that. Hold it down with your fingers. Whoop, I'll turn it around so I can pull. Now see, it's not going to do it now because I've pulled it out once. There we go. And it's on. I think sometimes if you get finer gauge zips, maybe they're a little bit more challenging, but I find just keep a nice crisp cut up here. I always cut mine a little bit generous so that if they're not exactly the same when I've got them together, it doesn't matter. So that's on. Now I'm going to get down to this end. See how it's just a little bit wonky? All I'll do is open that up and it is all good to go. I can see down this end maybe just a little bit of a trim up, but the thing is wherever we put it we can come back and trim more off later. So if you make it a little bit generous, it's all good. Okay, let's grab these back. As I said, if you have trouble with your fingies, then by all means grab a gadget. Get a little person to line up and put all your zip pulls on for you. That's also another option. So we'll just line up, we're sandwiching our zip right side down onto our panel, and then I've got the lining of the pocket at the back as well. So we're going to sandwich these together. Wonder clips are fantastic for this job. I have not put them under tonight's show. It's just one of those things that I kind of forget because we use all the time. But they are on the website. If you don't have any in your stash, I have just a few because I can't live without them. Love them for binding. Absolutely love them. So I need a few for when I get to binding. So just 3 in like that. So that's ready for us to sew. The other thing that I've got ready to go, which I'm going to do with the walking foot on before we do anything else, is our strap. So my strap, these are 4 inches wide, doubled, folded into the center, and then into center again. So they're 4 thicknesses. I've already top stitched down one side, but I left the other one. So I could just show you what I did to get it really nice and close to the edge. I whacked my walking foot on, and I move my needle all the way to the right, and then that gives me really nice super grip and pulls that strap through because it's 4 thicknesses thick, and we can get our needle and our thread really nice and close to the edge on the strap. Whee, that's a close-up tonight, folks, isn't it? That's a little bit, that's brighter than it usually is. Goodness me. Okay, just need to take my number 7 off. Wow, a manicure probably would have been a good idea. Is the sandwich quilted? No, Nancy Cook, I have not. I haven't. I haven't because I've used adhesive Pellon. So H640 Nance is what I've used. Ginny Chandler, go around to the window. You are not coming in through this one. Okay, so that's on. Right, now someone else asked me a really important question. Oh, Denise, no. No, and no. No, hang on, this is a very important question. I have to come back. No. Summer Palace does not, and it's quite disappointing that it doesn't go with the panels. I will show you. Yes, they're both silver, but that's a big no. Isn't it a shame? It is a real shame. But the blues in mine are, I don't know, what are mine? Mine are sort of heading more towards a sky blue, Delft blue, and this is really slate teal blue. So no. Oh, I know. Oh, look, no, they don't. I'm not even going to say at a stretch. Not even at a stretch. And you know what's interesting? That's, alright. Melba fans, yeah, it's okay. It's alright. It's not great. But Melba floral, yes. They're both made with the same screen colours, but I think it's the balance of the colours in them. There's more of the darker grey in this one, and so this more delicate design is alright, but the fans, no. So I'm sorry, but that is a super duper important question, so thank you for asking. And no, they don't. I do like denim. I pulled the denim out. I do like the dark denim with this. I really like it with that. So bag wise, perfect. Really, really nice with that. We have, okay, if you have the saddle satchel bag, or yeah, the saddle satchel bag that's got the two magnetic buckles, if you've got that pattern, we've got those buckles in the light tan and the light brown, the same as the colours I showed you before in the handles. The denim for the main part of the bag, and this for the flap and the pocket would be gorgeous with those light caramelly coloured buckles. So, very important question, thank you. Right, so back to this. Now I've got, sure Judy, if you've got one of the calendars, absolutely, or if someone gave it to you, then sure, we can do that for you. Can you use iron on bag batting? Okay, Pauline, can you use a, I know where you bought your, Yvonne Collinson, I know where you bought your thingy-me-bog for your zips. I think, if I'm right, can you use the iron? So, bag batting. Well, question is, Pauline, on the rubber foam battings, yes, you can. You can hit them, and they can go in the dryer, they can go in the washing machine or anything. But on H60, 40 and 30, no. It'll do damage, so don't. But yes. Okay. So I've got my walking foot on and my needle's in the middle. Now I've brought my foot down. I'm just about, the edge of my strap is halfway between the 1/4 inch mark and the edge. So I'm assuming I'm about 1/8 of an inch in from the edge, about that. But now I can move my needle across, and I just turn my wheel to make sure it's where it's going to sit. And even though now I've got a good chunk of my foot sitting over my fabric, my needle's all the way over to the right, so I'm going to get a really nice narrow top stitch on the edge of my strap. I should be able to talk and do this at the same time, shouldn't I? But I'm trying to keep in a straight line, and it's getting hot in here, and my glasses have fogged up while I've been sitting on my head. So I'm just going to be a bit careful. Alright, now I'm good. So just feed it through, keep it as straight as you can, Right, you're going to come out the other end with a really nice top stitch on your strap. And everyone will think you're amazing that you managed to keep your needle so close to the edge without it falling off. I don't know if you can see that. So we've got a really nice top stitch down each side. So that's going to sit really nicely in our bag. So I'll just trim that off and then I can pop that aside. I won't get this whole thing together for you tonight, but I just wanted to show you different parts of it. While I've got the walking foot on, let's whip round this flap, and I have to make sure I've got it up the right way because I have to remember it's going to come down over the bag. So it's going to come down over that way. So it's actually the top of the flap that I need to leave open, not the bottom. So if I look at what the top is here, that's going to be my top there with that narrow line. So that stays open, and I've got to go around these other three sides that I've got pegged. So we'll just whip round that now as well while we've got the walking foot on. Remembering, of course, to put my needle back in the middle. Okay. When we get together on Sunday as well, if you are doing Sunburnt Country with me, I will have together for you different combinations for the coordinates, because some people have said, I've bought the fabric, but I need to know which other bits I need for the coordinates, or they've downloaded the digital pattern and they don't know which ones. So I will have different combos together for you, and I will show them to you, and I will put them up as pre-cuts on the website for you as well. You don't need much. So I would much prefer to do that for you rather than you heading off and buying half-metre pieces. I'll be able to do much smaller pieces for you in a pack. Heavens, this machine's working well tonight because I actually oiled it today and cleaned it. And she sounds a bit rattly, but I can see it's because of what's sitting behind on the table. Okay. Alright, so we can pull this out, and we'll just clip into these little corners. Just take off a little bit so that we get a really nice point on your flap. I know. I know what you're going to say, Lisa. Where's your pointy stick? Where's your gadget? I don't know. It's here somewhere. That's alright. Okay. So that's going to be my flap on the back. I can come back and iron it for you, but just to essentially show you. So that's where that's going to sit on my bag on the back, and I'm happy with that. See what I mean about those little lines? I actually really like them, but I think I just want to get out the metallic silver and run a line across it. I think it's just because I haven't pressed it well enough yet or got the water onto it, so I've still got that little fold where it's been folded on the bolt, so I will attack that later. Okay, now we'll get back to this. So we've got our zip going in between our pocket lining and our pocket, outer pocket. So what we need to do is switch over to our zipper foot. Now a lot of people may not. It depends on your machine. A lot of people love to run their walking foot for their zip. It depends on your machine, how much pressure you have. So this is about to find out if I should have run with my walking foot or not, because I'll confess I've been doing a lot on my other machine that has dual feed, that'll pull it through easier. So anyway, we'll see how we go. So I've popped it on, I've got moved my needle position across. Wow, the machine did it for me actually. I just always turn my needle, just check, particularly when we're going to sit really nice and close to the foot. I do always like to check. I have actually hit my foot and broken a needle before, and it's been my error because I had bent my needle and I hadn't realised, just had the slightest of bends in it. I don't know what I was doing, but it just makes me now always just check. So when I put my foot down here, now can I go? I can go right across. Okay, so I can feel, I'm going to bring my needle down, it's going to sit about here. So I'm going to get a nice little bit of this lovely zip showing. And that's, I think we explained to you earlier on, that's what we did with adjusting this pattern. My feet have not picked up. Now, yeah, sometimes you just got to go, just shimmy along a little bit. So it starts off, there we go. That's what we altered in this pattern, because we used to run this pattern with commercial dress zips, and then we switched over to our wider decorative zips, and what that meant was that we just had to tweak the pattern to take these wider ones. We needed a little bit more fabric in the piece that's going to go behind the pocket, and you'll see why when we get there. Okay, I've come down far enough now. I'm going to lift up my foot, and I'm sorry about my hand in the way, but all I'm doing is moving my zip pull up out of the way so that I can come down the rest here. Okay. Now I'm getting a little bit of resistance with my foot because, as I mentioned to you, we've got these layers in here and I've got the padding on the back of the pocket. So in retrospect, I would probably run with a walking foot. So I'm going to say that now as my disclaimer. What I'm going to do in the meantime, on my machine, I'm going to tell it, which you can on the Baninas, I'm going to tell it that I'm actually quilting with my zipper foot, and it's much happier because it's loosened off the tension and because of the thickness of the layers it's going through. But you can see here, see how I'm over? I've got more over here than I should, so it hasn't quite been a success, folks. So there you go. Maybe have a go with positioning your walking foot just like we did before for the handle. You can actually pop it on and move that needle across so that it's sitting close to the zip as opposed to being on the other side and being on the edge of your fabric. So you can use your walking foot and do that. So you might want to give it a go. Okay, so I'll fold this back. Anyway, and show you where I got to. And I don't, you know what, can I wing that? Do you reckon? I reckon I can. With an iron, I'll be able to pop that back into position. So there's step one of doing this bit. It just needs a really good press. So I've got that zip into the lower bit. Now, what happens with the top is that we put this bit on, which is going to be the top of our bag. So that's that bit there. So that's going to go there, and we'll just put one of our pegs in. Then what happens here at the back is we need this bit, which is going to be behind the pocket. That's going to go on there. And this is where people go, what on earth is going on? But what will happen is when we're finished, this bit will come up, but this bit that we've got underneath will stay down, and that will sit behind the pocket. And when you're cutting out all the pieces, you'll go, why is this bit a different size to this? And it's this distance here, because this piece underneath needs to come up past the pocket, over the width of the zip, and sit up the top with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So this bit goes on here. So we're going to run this bit through, And then, my friends, it's just not, it's watch Netflix while sewing time. You will need minimal concentration to get this done. Okay. Oh, I do like that snowflake. I do like that snowflake, Paul. It's going to look so pretty hanging over this. All right. Quickly back to the machine, and we'll just whip down this bit. So this time we shouldn't have any tension problems because we're only going through 2 bits. Oh, sorry, but it still thinks I've got quilting. I love it. Don't you love a smart machine? Love a smart machine. All right. So then it didn't want to go anywhere because it didn't have the thick batting underneath. No. All right, we're good now. Okay. I love these colours. I think a little bit like those panels on the wall. It's just that really nice, cool colours, and this will go with a lot. You know, a little bit of denim. I'm sure it's going to go with a little bit of denim. And I just push my zip, pull up out of the way. That camera's a bit close, isn't it? My hands. But at least you can see what I'm doing. Yes, yes, I know. More pins, Lisa. More pins, more clips. But I really just want to show you. I probably will come back and pull it out later and do it properly, but I want to show you where we end up. Do you know how many times I've done that at night time? You do know, don't you? It is easy. It is easy. Absolutely. Can you add me to the calendar list too, Nancy Cook? Sure, Nance. Get you on it. You can go on the calendar list if you've got a calendar. You know that. So I'm assuming you've all got one. You got one? There's no, because it doesn't make sense if you don't have one. Wow, what a relief that worked. I will critique my own work later, but put that out. Okay. So when this is all pressed, it's all going to sit gorgeous and flat. Yes, you believe me? Yes. Good. Right. So step 1, we did this, and then this is the second step. So we've got the back panel, which is essentially the front panel of the bag when you think about it, but that goes on the back. And then we put this on the top. So now we just fold this bit up. There you go, and that is the front of my bag. So that's what it's going to look like. I'm going to come back and just press all that later. Now just be careful, your zip bit doesn't come off the end. I know you can put it back on, but you really don't want to have to. So there's my little winter snowflake. It's going to sit down on there. When I've got this all lovely and pressed, I'm pretty sure I put it in the instructions, and please do just tack around this, all right, to hold it all together. You want all of that to sit nice and flat and together. And then on the back of this, you're going to iron on your front panel piece of Pallen. So that will all go on there. And you're going to have a lovely little bag front. Now, the back of my bag, oh, here's a fun fact. You're actually going to, when you come to put your whole bag together, you're going to tack your flap right side down onto the front panel because you want it to go up and over onto the back. Just keep that in mind. Now, the front panel is sitting here, and you would have seen before I'd started this. So you've got a thin gusset to go right round here. So you've got a nice big long narrow piece. You'll centre it in the centre of your back panel and then sew out to the corners. Don't go all the way to the edge. You need to pivot on that corner, and then you'll go up the sides. One little trick, as you're coming around this corner, you may need to clip into, well, you will need to, I should say, clip into your gusset that goes round, just so it's a little bit easier. So you just clip into the seam allowance. You're going to do it on that one, but you'll also do it on your lining. So I've started my lining, and this is the side that doesn't have the pocket on it. I've got the pocket on ready, as you know, sitting over here for the other side. So with this, I've stopped at that 1/4 inch corner there, and you'll get your scissors and just do a little clip into the seam, just enough to allow you to pivot at that corner and head right up to the sides. Okay, now I can see a boo-boo, a big boo-boo here already. What I should have done is left the opening in my lining on this seam here, because I would rather be sewing up this seam on this side without the pocket than on this one that's got the pocket. So just keep that in mind when you do go back and leave your, I'm going to pin that now, when you leave an opening in your lining at the base to turn your bag through, please do it on the side that hasn't got your pocket on it. It's going to be much easier than this one. Again with this, as I said, I'm going to pop a division down through here, but once I've done that, I'll also run a tacking stitch 1/8 of an inch in around this, so it holds it all together while I'm sewing it into the other side of this. And I look forward to showing you that on Sunday, to keep me honest. So I will finish that off. So I hope that's a really good start for you on how to do it. Same for if you're using Melba or this one, and in both cases really easy to fussy cut down your pieces. One thing I will say about using Summer Palace, for those that are going to do it in the Summer Palace, because you've got that extra bit of fabric, you might want to spend just a little bit of time cutting out your front or your back panels, because you're not going to use it all, so you can get something else out of it. This is the version that I want to get up for you in case you want to do this one in red. And I suppose this one I didn't do this tonight because we've got the blue stand, but I'm going to do this one in red as well. If you'd like a red one, hang tight or email me and I'll pop one in the mail for you now, whatever you want to do. But this is going to be the red version. So we're going to have this in your face red as our front. The contrast will be the red fans to go with it, and then the lining is going to be the green wicker. So this, you know, while I love the blue, seems to me, but this is, yeah, hello party time bag. So what I just wanted to mention, when you come through and you cut out your front panel, usually what I do is I just, you know, whack it this way and go across the whole width of the piece that I've got. Please stop yourselves and just have a little bit of a look at how much you need, because for your front pocket it only needs to be 11.5 wide. So I can sit here and I can see I only need that much, so I want to do this, and I'm going to mark it and just cut the area that I need for the pocket. Reason being, it saves me all of these bits on the side that have got the height. And what I've done with mine in the blue is I've managed to cut it from this section that had the vases and things on. I've saved a bit on the side that's got height, so that I can make myself a glasses case. So when we did the one when we did the periwinkle the other day with the fussy cut petals, and a lot of you grabbed all those lovely small square frames to the point where we ran out. My periwinkle is sitting in the other room without a frame because I didn't grab one for myself before they all got packed off. So I'm just looking at it at the moment. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do Anyway, so then we were very lucky that not long before we did those, we had 2 more sizes come in. When I went and had a look at them, oh sorry, this is the red zip. It's going to go with the red one and one of the flower pool. So if you want one of these now, let me know. Otherwise, we'll have those up for you in a couple of weeks and I'll get the sample made up. So when we actually went through and looked at the 2 other sizes and we'd run out of the small, I looked and I went, there's not that much difference between the small and the next one up. So the small we have now is the new small. Now if you won't know unless you go back, and I have specifically said the dimensions of the first small we had, you'll never know. So we have more small, but it's the new small. So they're back in stock. We just had to slightly tweak the dimensions. It's just slightly bigger, just slightly, not much at all. So they're back up. We've got those. And then we have the large. So the new large ones, well, this big. So we're up to fancy schmancy sunglasses or whatever you wear. But it's nice and big. I think a lot of you will actually use this for your embroidery scissors and things like that as well. So they'll take on a different purpose if you like. So what I did, I saved the height that I needed for this larger one, which is 9.5 inches and 5 inches wide. And so you can see once I've done that same little measurement down the bottom and got my seam allowances in, this is what's going to fit in. So I have to decide, you know how we have to decide which side's which. Actually, I think I want the other side. I actually want to have that like that. Okay. So I like to think that you just loved the frames like I did because of the frame, but I actually think you might have liked the special as well. Who said what? Where? Del, hi, what does the blue kit for the Melba bag and the red one cost? They are, Del, so they're $41.50 if you need the pattern with it. If you've got a calendar or you're in a Quilter's Life, you have your pattern and they are $30. As I said, I'm going to double check straight after the show that we have them all up with both versions. And it's a little bit like if you're in, Del, do you know about a Quilter's Life? Let me pop this up for you. Hang on. It's a little bit like if you're in a Quilter's Life and you're doing the Oriental Baltimore, you have that pattern as part of your $10 a month membership. So you would buy your kit for the Wisteria block or the Aster block or whichever one you're doing without the pattern, because you can just download it out of your club membership. But if you're not in the club, then you buy it with the pattern, which is more. So that's the club information there if you want to go to that website and have a look. The one thing about the club, the most important thing people ask me is, how long do I have to join up for? And I have to join for the month. $10 to go in and have a play, and then you can decide if you want to stay or go, but it's $10 a month. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I'm going to say it now as well. I've finished off the Vase and Cherry Blossom block segment 2 days ago in a rush with Cass. I didn't put it up. I just put it up before the show. Thank goodness I remembered. So you've got more to work on tomorrow and a little demo coming from me. Alright, so I like to think that you liked this because of the frame. I don't know now. I think you might have liked the free fabric and the EPP templates that went with it. Not sure. But I don't want to take the risk, so I'm doing it again. Alright, so with the glasses frame this time, that's not what you wanted to see, this. With the glasses frame this time instead, I'm going to pop in a piece of blue. Now I don't have this blue on the bolt anymore. I only had a little bit of it set aside for a project trial. I don't even have it on the bolt here, but I had enough to do this special this week. I'm hoping I've got enough. So this blue is gorgeous with Summer Palace. Let me hold it up under the light a bit better for you. There you go. So you can see it's a really nice match for this down here. So into the frame kit this week, I'm popping in a piece of this big enough for you to use on the other side like we did. And I'm popping in And my Quilters Life girls and my Madame Butterfly girls will recognise these. So I'm popping in some of my non-equilateral, yeah, that's the right term, non-equilateral octagons. So I'm popping in 6 of these. And then what you'll be able to do was what I was working on when you joined me this evening. So I've taken the leftovers from my satchel and I'm doing this on the other side. It's entirely up to you what you want to do, but I thought that this would be quite lovely to have on the back because it's got that whole kind of oriental lattice work going on. So it's going to be front and back like that. Okay, so with these, like we talked about the other day with the pentagons, it's up to you whether you want to tack or glue onto the back. If you decide to glue, just make sure before you put them down on this side, give them a really good press starch, and then you'll need a little bit of moisture water to get them off on the back. Or if it's a one-hit wonder for you, you can actually leave them in if you want to. The Epiplex ones are lovely and flexible. So I'm just sewing these together. That's what I was doing when you joined me. I'm just sewing them together on the short sides. And that's what I decided to do. So these, so it's just a case of popping them short side to short side there and turning it over and just a little whip stitch. My thimble's here somewhere. Just a little whip stitch on this side. So these are going to come together really quick, and then you can just glue or pin them onto your panel of blue. I'm going to pop in pieces that are a very generous cut. Alright, so you'll need to cut your pieces down. If they're straight, just check they're the right measurement because they might look right, but I might have given you more than you need, so you'll just need to trim the pieces down. Scrap bits of Palin or batting on the back, whatever you decide to reinforce it with. It does need something. Okay, so you can see how quick it is to pop that one on. And you know what, I'm going to just do this last one because we can. So I'm going to cheat, go straight across the back. Oh, right. Hey, you got to laugh at yourself, don't you? I went to the wrong corner. I took a shortcut and it was the wrong turn. Okay, up there, thank you. So you can see what I've done? I've sort of gone through and I've fussy cut my little bamboo pot, a little bit from the pergola, a little flower, center of one of the vases, a little bit of cherry blossom. So just, you know, you can have a lot of fun. And these pieces were what I was talking about, would be really fun to play with your leftovers from a geisha panel too. So if you did through the window, let's just go back a tick. If you did through the window, we're all fogged up. If you did through the window and you used some of that Applique Essential Pack, okay, and you had purchased some of this to go in as well, what you could do is 1, 2 or 3 of these little octagons over your squares or in a corner of one of the panels or something, you know, on the sides of the quilt that go right around it. So you could add quite a bit of interest. You might actually have, you know, you'll get it and you'll have a look in your stash and see what colours you've got. So then you could have a lot of fun. Okay. So that's done, and I just want to show this to you so you can see it completed. There you go. So I'm going to be busy, I don't know about you. So that's going to sit like that. So, fun to be had. I'm actually popping down, I won't be here on Friday this week. I'll be with Margaret. We're having a big day. A lot of planning. It's a soiree planning day. So, you know, we get together when we can and plan out the finer details well in advance. And we're sort of got a system going now after last year. So there's a lot that we will get through this week about table decorations and food and how the day will flow and how we'll set up the hall at Garfield, and then the challenges that come with that versus the challenges of taking the show on the road to Nagambie and doing a Christmas in July in Nagambie as well. So there's lots of that planning that happens now. So I'm doing all of that with her and working on some design work. So I do hope to actually pop in and have a chat while I'm down there with Mark. So we'll have a little bit of a chat about the soiree and things. So, all right. So you're right with this now. So what you'll get if you order the large frame, we've got more of the new small ones in stock, but the special now to get the fabric and the EPP is with the larger one. Okay. I think it's only $1 more for the larger one. They are obviously a bit more because they're bigger, but it's not much of a difference. Now, have we covered? No, we haven't. Everything on the list. We must be nearly there. It's getting late. Now, what else did I have to tell you? Right, one thing in here. I'm just going to start dumping stuff on the floor. We back in stock. Hey, I don't think I tagged this. Sorry, it's not under the banner. Just in V22. You put V22 into the little search window. It'll bring up Shadowplay. Shadowplay is back in V22, which is very important to everyone that is a Melbourne Nouveau person. So that means that you are into the Nouveau colours. So if I leave that there and I walk over here and I get you a bit of Melba, you'll see they go together. Okay, now Amanda, who some of you, oh, see that goes too. Amanda, who many of you have met at the soiree, who have sprung me calling her Amanda Panda. It's not just a nickname. She is an incredible teddy bear and panda designer extraordinaire. But she contacted me the other week and she said, you need to get me this fairy frost. And I went, right. And she said, it's garnet and it goes with Melba. Now we all know Lisa makes many mistakes buying fairy frost with glitter. However, she assured me I would love it. You know how I feel about the glitter. But when it arrived, I could not argue with her one iota. So these go together. So Amanda's got what she needs off this bolt, and I went, oh, I'll put the rest up for the girls because you know what I'm like with glitter. So, but you know, this. Sorry. I tell you what, I don't know what's happened, but there's very little, if any, coming off on my hand. There's nothing. I don't know why. Do you want a close up? I'll just show you. So if you love a bit of sparkle and you love Melba, maybe if you're making like a little evening, let's just move the blue, shall we? A little bit of an evening bag, something for a little person. It doesn't have to be with Melba, but it's just too good. Because the silver here with the silver on here, they work really well. What does it look like with the? We'll just try it with the grey. I don't know. Actually, oh goodness me! All right, that means we have to try the black. All right, one more, and I'll stop playing. Yeah, of course the black goes. Of course the black goes. So that's up under tonight as well. And you do everything. Handles, Kinta, yes, yes. Oh, there's one Steve just wanted to mention as well. It's Mr. Stocktake. We have one of the swing satchels left in the Japanese combo. So this is in the fabric that some of my Madame Butterfly girls are using. So this is on the website and you'll see the actual bag up there. But these beautiful colours with one of our zips. Oh, there's your EPP again to do the detail on it with the swing shoulder strap. It's all in there. Everything that you need for the whole bag. That's the pattern and the design. All right, so there's just one of those left. So he wanted me to let you know about that. Scissors, done. Oh, wisteria. So, it's the first today. What's the day today? The 14th or 15th. It might be Valentine's Day. It might be. My husband's not. No, he won't be taking me out. I don't like going out on Valentine's Day because everyone's out on Valentine's Day. Maybe a Valentine's Day show. About the 14th will be our next Oriental Baltimore show. That will be the one for the last block. And then we will do one in March because I want to do one where we talk about assembly and how to put it all together and your options for that as well. So if you're ordering and you haven't got your block yet, again with this, as I said before, you can order with the pattern, or if you're in a Quilter's Life without it, so that you've got all your fabric for that. I think I've covered everything. That's it. Too much stuff. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, so these guys, Through the Window or Panel Magic. If you want any help with colours or anything, as I said, grab your panels and your feature. Shoot me through an email or put it in the comments on your order and I will come back to you tomorrow. I won't even attempt to start picking fabrics tonight because it's getting late and I don't want to make mistakes. But pop it on there for me. I'll combine orders with Sunday show. So it's Wednesday night now. Unless you put on there send straight away, I will hold your orders until Sunday show because that way we can combine any orders for you. I might shoot you might get an email from me saying, are you sure you don't want to wait? Or do you want me to send straight away? But we'll leave them and combine unless we hear from you. All right. So we just find that people kind of like, it says sold out or what? No, it can't be. Oh, Kristen, I'm really sorry if it has. Let me go and check that for you. Send me an email if you've missed out on something because we put up what it says is on the bolt. Sometimes it's different. So just shoot me an email first in Best Dressed and I'll see what we come up with, all right? And hang tight. There's red and black to come as well and they're stunning, okay? All right, everyone. Did I miss anything else? Rosemary says, she's used her swing satchel every day for 12 months since she's made it. That's awesome. Liz, I'm sorry I missed you joining us this evening with Carol. Hello, Carol. Carol, what did I do for you? An order? I did an order for you, I think. Does the Colourworks latte go with the... I missed two. I did miss two. Latte. Is this latte? Did I put it up as latte? No, this is... Yes. They're just sitting there. They're behind the stand. I missed two. This is Colourworks in 312. It is tagged tonight and this goes. That's why I tagged it. Thank you, Rosemary. See, the list is too long. So if I hold that up there for you, can you see that okay? Take out of your head that little bit of black you can see around the outside because that's not going to be there. So this is sort of going to calm down the design, okay? It's going to give it a much more neutral effect. Do you think Robert heard me say I'm making a quilt for over our bed? Maybe not. The other thing that I put up tonight too, it's on super, super special, was this beautiful Figo. Now Figo came in last year, at great expense to the establishment, in this beautiful woven fabric, and I didn't know it was woven when it came, so we all got thrown about what to do with it. We did some ruching and stuff with it, didn't we? I've pulled this out because I love this with these panels, and what it does, it really helps me communicate to you or prove to you that these backgrounds are more green than blue. Let me grab one up here. So, I don't know, I just wanted to show this to you. I love this, I do love this Figo, and all it needs is a little bit of whisper weft on the back. That's all it needs, and it behaves like a perfect fabric. But if I hold that there, can you see that? It's green. So with that in mind, this with this gorgeous thing, I know I'm out on a limb here, but can you see that with that? It pulls up these, and this check sitting with that little shibori pattern in the background. I really like it. I just love this fabric. I have stashed the burnt orange one to match that shirt. So there we go. Thanks, Flick. Yeah, well, we will have a good day. Good night, Yvonne. I love you all lots. Long time. 640, H640 Maria, definitely. Trudy, thanks for joining us this evening. Devon, I'm sorry I missed you with Sue Tolly. And Alyssa, buddy, how are you? Good to see you here. Kayleen, thank you very much. Gay, I'm glad you like all of the colours. That was I really enjoyed this evening. Deidre, Erica, thank you. Edith, Rose, Jennifer, hi. Jackie, I missed the whole lot. Thank you for joining me. I really enjoyed that, and I had fun prepping that bag, so I'm really looking forward to finishing it. I'm here tomorrow. If you've got any questions, pop me an email, give me a call, probably after about 9, and I look forward to catching up with you. Otherwise, I will catch you at 2 p.m. on Sunday, and we will get started on Sunburnt Country, and we'll have a look at another little project as well. All right, lots to do this month. Thank you, everybody. Love you lots, and I'll see you soon. Bye.